Hello and welcome. I'm NPC and today we're going over Kotori, Cheerleader Edition. If you like what you see here, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, leave a comment about Blue Archive or anything you'd like me to do. Thanks a lot. Kotori is being released on March 12th, along with the rerun banners of Noah and Cheer Squad Utaha. But in this video, we're going to be mainly focusing on Cheerleader Kotori. However, I will be discussing the banners at a later date. Now, nerdy little Kotori has now become a cheerleader, releasing alongside the rerun of Blue Archive's 17th event, On Your Mark at Millennium. We now finally have a 3-star version of Kotori. In this video, we're going to discuss her abilities, my opinions on those abilities, and lastly, the all-important, should you pull? Kotori is an AoE-centric machine gun striker that buffs the team's critical rate and in turn gives herself a damage buff. Equipped with her trusty hat, hairpin, and watch, she hates urban cities, is indifferent to the outdoors, and loves staying indoors. Don't we all? Her EX skill, Festival Barrage, is a 3-cost ability that fires a pretty large cone-like AoE in front of her, dealing 205 to 390% damage.
こちらをご覧ください。いきますよ。プレー今です。華麗に参ります。少しやりすぎてしまいましたか。
This ability seems pretty strong and pretty cheap. Now, if we compare it to other characters, she's giving me kind of a Swimsuit Hina vibe, or kind of like a no, not really. Maybe like a Nonomi. This ability honestly seems pretty good. 3 cost is really cheap, and the damage is okay. It's not significant, but it's not bad. It's an AoE, so I'm not too picky on those. Okay, that's done. Her basic skill, about that, increases all of her allies' critical rate by 11.4 to 21.8%. This buff lasts 30 seconds, and this ability only triggers when 5 EX abilities have been activated. The critical buff also does not apply to herself, she will only give it to her allies. This to me is a little concerning because she's a striker that mainly wants to deal damage, however she buffs the critical rate of allies, which feels kind of counterintuitive to the goal of her as a character. But moving along, next up we have her enhanced skill. Is that a question? This ability is just a standard 14 to 26.6% attack, however when this ability is upgraded with a 2-star weapon, she gains a flat 160 to 304 accuracy. Along with a huge raw attack boost, this skill actually is kind of formidable. The addition of the extra accuracy kind of piques my interest, because standard machine gunners have around 100 accuracy, so that 160 to 304 is a pretty significant jump. 2-star unique equipment seems pretty good, but also you gotta keep in mind, this is a lot of resources you have to spend, so even though this seems great, this feels a little too expensive for my liking. However, I do really think the 2-star weapon is like ridiculously strong. Lastly, her sub-skill, Happy to Help. This ability increases her own attack by 6.6 to 12.6% for 30 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. This ability activates when her basic skill buff applies to her other allies, meaning when she gives everyone else the crit rate buff, she will give herself an attack buff, stacking for every ally she applies it to. This ability is another pretty good attack buff, but if you think about it, realistically this buff is only going to usually apply to about 3 people, which roughly translates to somewhere between 19.8 to 37.8% attack, which is a lot less than the maximum, I think, or 63%. And now for the big question, should you pull for this character? Personally, I think her kit's a little lackluster, specifically for my taste. She has a lot of raw attack, and the crit rate buff feels like a mountain that she has to climb over because she doesn't actually get anything else. Her skills feel team-oriented, but also really selfish, because they don't really synergize well. You would have to have multiple damage dealers in order to run her, and the way Blue Archive plays nowadays, it's all about like buffing usually 1 damage dealer, but sometimes you'll play with 2. I feel like if I ran her in a team, she would have to be paired with someone like Akko and maybe a crit resistance reduction character like Bunny Girl Toki or Chirino, or maybe even Summer Izuna. She also kind of plays on the same axis as Summer Hina, which is kind of difficult for me to recommend her because she's very similar to both. Actually, even normal Hina, she's kind of similar to. So, because there's other characters that are similar to her, I guess that not everyone has normal or Summer Hina, right? But you do have access to normal Hina. So, I don't think she's great value to pull for. For me, I think this is a skip banner. However, I would like to say that don't just take my word for it. If you like the character, just pull for her. There's nothing wrong with it. Remember, playing the game and having fun is more important than the game's meta. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And PC out.